Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 4, Episode 21, Ham Radio News and Updates, 5/27/2026. Hope everyone's doing well today. Had some technical issues that I was working out. That's why we're a little late here. But here nonetheless, hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone had a chance to pause and reflect and remember what Memorial Day really, truly means. One of the things that I really kind of disdain are when a lot of people say Happy Memorial Day. It's not, it was not intended for that purpose. It's a day to reflect and to pause and to be thankful for those that gave their last full measure in service of our country. And we do, and that's exactly what we do in this household, have always done, have always will do it. Okay. Cooley's here. Welcome. See, Andy's here. Welcome. The Damned is here. Welcome. White Point, New England. Welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by today. Sounds good. And you can probably see, you can look up in the other corner there. I'm pointing the right direction. Okay. Up in the corner we've incorporated new logos for the channel. So, you'll see more of them as they come up and everything. And then I got a new intro in the works here for the weekly show. So that's coming up as well too. So stay on tune for that. Just a side note from Hamvention, I heard they published attendance figures. They had over 37,000 attend. Okay, that's a lot of people in 3 days. That is a lot, and kudos to the staff over there and everything. I know there's a lot of logistics involved and just a ton of things, and they did an outstanding job, and I know it went very well. All reports are from everybody that's been there said that they had a great time, which is absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, it's just absolutely great. So, but today we're going to go ahead, and one of the things that I wanted to do, I've been getting some great comments on my top 10 list. So we're just going to keep doing these top 10 lists because people have found them very useful. They've really liked the information. And we're just going to kind of continue with this theme right now for a while. One of the things, ICOM had some announcements during Hamvention, the X620, which is really something, they told us, they said, well, you'll find out at the Tokyo Ham Fair, which is in August. So all you saw was a complete mock up there and you have no idea what it is. And there's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors on that. So, but ICOM's usually pretty tight-lipped about that until it actually comes out. So, unlike in some other technology areas where leaks are, first and foremost, especially with drones, that happens a lot. And that's one of the things that we do on our channel. Oh, I got my new Ham Radio Basics shirt on. This is another version of the logo. I'm probably going to be doing a hat. And if any of you guys are interested, ping me, let me know, and I can get some hats made up or t-shirts made up as well. If that's something that you guys would be interested in. I did it a couple of years ago, and reception was kind of lukewarm, so I kind of stopped that. But we did some updates to the logo, and I really like them, especially this one right here, this HRB. I really kind of like that, and it came out well. That I went out to Vistaprint and I got several shirts for me, and really it looks very good. So if it's something that interests you guys, we're gonna go there. Okay. All right. What we're going to talk about is something that ICOM it's out right now, and it's new, and it's something that a lot of people are very excited about. And it's the, I need to back up here. Okay. Top 10 reasons to upgrade to the ICOM IC7300 Mark II. If you already own an ICOM IC7300, the new ICOM IC7300 MK2 is not a complete reinvention, but it's a meaningful refinement. One of the most beloved receivers that is out there today. The biggest upgrade areas are receiver performance, modern connectivity, remote operation, CW features, operating comfort. So let's go ahead and just start diving into the slides here. Now, better receiver performance. The Mark II improves RMDR by roughly 12 decibels. In real-world operations, strong nearby stations interfere less, better contest performance, improved DX pileup handling, and cleaner crowded band operation. That is really useful because in a lot of instances, especially, if you're contesting, I'm also going to throw POTA in there as well too, because there's a lot of pileups, and you need to have a little bit of an edge. If you do POTA a lot, if you do DX a lot, if you do contesting a lot, you need to have a little bit of an edge with that. And the Mark II really kind of gives you that edge right here. It really helps out, when, a lot of times, when you're doing POTA, you run into pileups very often, and it's really kind of difficult to get through. This really makes a difference with that. From everybody that I've heard, they say it's absolutely fantastic with that. And really, it should be kind of seamless, and it works really well. So, keep that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about upgrading to the 7300 Mark II. Now, one of the other things is it also has a cleaner transmit signal. Transmit phase noise improves by approximately 12 decibels. Benefits include cleaner transmit audio, reduced adjacent channel splatter, better signal purity, and improved on-air performance. And again, you're looking for things to tweak. And I think ICOM really listened to licensed ham radio operators with this, because a lot of these improvements are things that people have been asking for a long time, and they really followed through with this. All right. You always want to have cleaner transmit audio. I mean, you can have, even from the stock mic that comes with it, which is not bad, you can still not have good audio. Well, this cleans that up. The channel splatter, it does happen, and it's one of these things. It annoys the daylights out of you because there's really not a whole lot you can do it. And this year actually has reduced that, which is absolutely fantastic. You can't really pass that up. And having better signal purity, that is just something that is absolutely priceless. I mean, making sure you have a nice, strong, clear signal and it's pure, that makes a big difference. Okay. Especially if you're DXing or contesting, you want to punch through. And the way to do that is with a pure signal and improved on-air performance. I mean, who doesn't want that? When you're out there, if you're just chewing the rag, or you're contesting, or you're POTAing, or, whatever you're doing, it really helps your experience. So definitely that's something that you want to look at. Now, one of the things that's really fantastic about the Mark II is that it has an HDMI option, which the 7300 did not. You connect, and we're going to show you the back of the radio coming up in some of these graphics here in a minute, but you can connect it directly to large monitors, and it uses capture devices easily. So you can record things that come up on that screen. It improves live stream setups, enhances YouTube production, no external hacks are required. And I can tell you, I did see a couple of hams out there that with the 7300, they had to do a lot of hacking, but they got it to where they could record the screen on there. But it really was a tremendous effort to do that. And you really got to have some programming knowledge and background to be able to do that. And with this, you don't have to. All you have to do is hook it up to that HDMI cable in the back. And again, this is something that hams have been asking for quite some time with the 7300, is having that ability and capability to do that. Now, several of the Yaesu transceivers already had that. So, I mean, I'm glad that ICOM has stepped up to the plate and has added that HDMI port. It really makes a difference. You can't look at that at the example in the picture right there. It's just absolutely fantastic to be able to see that up on a big screen. Now, in line with that, with the same graphic on there, it has a built-in CW decoder. The MK2 adds on-screen Morse decoding. Additional CW improvements, APF filtering, better weak signal CW operation, great for CW learners, and helpful during contesting. I mean, if you're learning CW, you could not ask for a better tool than the 7300 Mark II, and having that decoder up there for you. It's a game changer if you're learning CW. It makes all the difference in the world. And CW is one of these things that really, the learning curve for me, I'm not there with it. I don't know if I'll ever pick that up, but having this capability on the Mark II, it's real interesting. I mean, you can go out there, even if you don't know CW, you can go out there and take a look and see it. And it's fantastic, and it works great. I mean, it really does a good job with what's coming in. So, this is something that it's a real strong selling point, and it's something that hams have been asking for a while. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the back of the radio here, and let's see if maybe I can. Yeah, okay. All right. This is the HDMI port right here, okay? And right next to that is USB-C connectivity. The old USB-B port is gone. New USB-C advantages, cleaner cable management, easier cat control setup, better digital mode integration, and dual virtual COM ports. I mean, having that right there, that makes a world of difference on this. It's just absolutely fantastic. And again, this is something that hams have been asking for a while, and ICOM responded. And I think that's fantastic. And, overall, that's one of the things with this transceiver more than anything else, because the 7300 is just, I think, a bedrock transceiver. And it's just one of these ones that almost, everybody has, and everybody that has it really likes it. I mean, the things that we have asked for to improve on the 7300, they've done that here, and they've done it in a great fashion. So again, having that USB-C connectivity is really, really good here. Now, built-in LAN remote operation, the LAN port is a major improvement. Remote operation advantages, RSBA1 support, no dedicated shack PC required, which is nice. Easy remote station setup, which is good, and better network integration. Now, I haven't done that, but I know a lot of people that have, and not having to have that remote dedicated shack PC required, that's huge with something like that. And being able to set up a LAN it's really not as hard as you think it is. And I think that's something I may be able to do a video on sometime. A lot of people have done that and have some great videos, but specifically for the 7300 Mark II, because it's on my radar list of things to get. But that's something, I mean, that's having remote operation is absolutely fantastic, and being able to do that. And this really makes it a whole lot easier here. Now, dedicated are receive antenna ports, okay? And you can see right here where my cursor is, right there. SkyQuest, welcome. Thank you for stopping by this afternoon. Appreciate that. You can see right here, here's those two dedicated RX antenna ports. And again, it's for receive only. Supports beverage antennas, loops, external filters, receive preamps, and advanced receive antenna systems. And again, there's two of them up there. And again, this is something that was asked for by the user community. And that's just one thing that just really gets me about this radio, is that ICOM has really listened to everybody out there. They've made these updates, they've made these changes, and they work, and they work well. And I know a lot of people have just absolutely, they have just, when they've seen it in action, they've bought it. I mean, that's how well this radio is selling. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Lower power consumption. RX standby current drops from about 0.9 amps to 0.7 amps. Any kind of reduction is very welcome in there, especially if you're operating on battery here. So, yeah, and again, better battery operation, reduced heat, improved emergency power usage, and better portable performance. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that have a second 7300 that they use and they take out and they do POTA with all the time. And, having the 7300 Mark II is going to really significantly improve their experiences when they're away from their shack and they're out doing POTA with it and have it hooked up to a battery. Getting even at 2/10 of an amp right there, that's really going to make a difference, and it's really going to make a difference in terms of how long your battery lasts out in the field. I mean, that's something that you want. You don't want to you want to squeeze every amp that you can out of that battery, and this helps you do that. So that's kudos to ICOM for coming up with that. Cooler and quieter operation. Early users report less heat buildup, quieter cooling fan behavior, improved operating comfort, and better long session operation. Now, having that fan kick on, you're in the middle of a QSO, the fan kicks on, and it's just like, it's really kind of a real pain in the rear end when that happens. But from what everybody has been saying, that fan is significantly less noisy than the current 7300 is. I mean, if there's any knock against the 7300, I mean, I hate to say that, it might be one of them, that fan was pretty loud when it had to cool things off. I mean, when it kicks on, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it has to do its thing in order to cool the radio down, because you don't want to have issues with that. And it really works very well according to everybody out there. So, and again, that helps for, if you're out there for POTA for 2 or 3 or 4 hours and you're making contacts, especially, when you're away from your home, from your shack, it makes a big difference. It really does. Number 10, future-proof your shack. The Mark II modernizes the legendary 7300 platform. And again, modern features include remote operation, which I know a lot of people really are into that. I haven't hooked that up yet, but that's something that I'm real interested in doing. Live stream friendly connectivity, having that HDMI port. Wow. You can go out, hook it up. You're on YouTube. You can be able to display things. That's fantastic to be able to do that. Better digital mode integration. Again, that really helps. Having that USB-C cable now makes a world of difference on there, and improved workflow compatibility. Again, having that HDMI cable and the USB cable port on there really helps make this a great experience. So, all in all, let's do a quick comparison here and take a look at the two. All right. The 7300 versus the 7300 Mark II. For the RMDR, the 7300 has 97 decibels. The Mark II is 105 decibels. The HDMI output on 7300, no, because it doesn't have one. In the Mark II, yes, it does have one. USB port on the 7300, it's a USB-B port. On the Mark II, it's a USB-C port. All right. LAN remote on 7300, external setup required, which is really that, is very, it's not complicated, but it is time consuming to do that. And on the Mark II, it's built in. And then, of course, the CW decoder on the 7300, it's not on there, but on the 7300 Mark II, it's on there. So, some final thoughts to kind of wrap things up here is the original 7300 remains one of the best values in amateur radio. However, the 7300 Mark II appears to be the polished, modernized evolution many operators have been waiting for. And I showed some pictures of the new 7300 with the box right there as well, too. So, again, this is something, that's a good question, GC Golfer. How does FD8 work with 7300 Mark II? That I don't know. That's a real good question. That is a real good question, because I've not seen any videos on that. So, but I'll see about doing some research, and if so, go out to the Facebook group, Facebook page, or out on X, and I'll try to get that information. So, that's one of the things that I haven't really seen. I've seen a lot of CW because of the CW decoder. I've seen people, getting it set up for using an HDMI output and then doing live streams with it. I've seen that. I've seen some videos on the adjacent noise as far as that factor was concerned, and that's really showed that like it has worked. But on FD8, I haven't seen anything yet. But if I see anything, I will definitely get that out there and get that posted. Thank you very much for that question, GC Golfer. Appreciate that. And thank you for stopping by today. Really appreciate that. You know, all in all, I mean, ICOM really, I think the thing that impresses me the most about this is that ICOM went out there and they listened to us. You know, because these are things that people have been asking specifically for this for years. And these aren't, you know, bank breaker kind of options here. Okay. You know, the cost went up, you know, probably about $200, maybe $300 from what the 7300 sells for right now. And really, in essence, that's really, I think, as far as the cost benefit analysis here, I think you're getting a lot of benefit out of that. And, you know, considering too, you know, you get the CW decoder, you're getting the HDMI, you get the receive inputs for the antenna on that as well too, which is a new feature, and people have been asking for that. You have the USB-C option on there now, which is fantastic. You know, just there's some things on there, you know, that really make a big difference as far as, you know, when you're contesting or DXing or doing POTA and helping to reduce pileups. I mean, there's a lot of value that is in this radio. And I think, like I said, I know a lot of people that have seen this in operation have decided, you know, just go ahead and get it. I know people who've gone to, say, like HRO or other storefronts that sell them and have seen it in operation, have really literally bought them on the spot because of that. And it really, and I can see why. It really, from the videos I've seen on this is absolutely fantastic. And this is something that is definitely on my radar list. Now, currently right now, you know, they're on sale at the big three at Gigaparts, DX Engineering, and Ham Radio Outlet. But also to remember, you know, when I say the big three, also remember Richard at MTC over near Dallas. I believe he's near Dallas, Texas, main trading company. He has a fantastic store. He does a great job. It's someone I highly encourage. He does online orders. He is just a fantastic person to do business with. And I would encourage you to look at him as well, too, and keep him in your loop as far as things are concerned. So that's all I have for today. Hope you found the 7300 Mark II top 10 items to really kind of provoke some thoughts regarding it. And, you know, let me know, as always, drop a comment and let me know what you thought of the video and what you think of the 7300 Mark II. If that's something that, oh, thank you, Cooley. I appreciate that. It's in Paris, Texas. Okay. Thank you. And Richard, like, I can't say enough about him. He's such a wonderful guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Just absolutely fantastic. Oh, you're welcome, SkyQuest. Appreciate that. You know, again, you know, what I do is I do this for you guys, and we try to keep things simple here at Ham Radio Basics. I don't want to go, I don't do too many deep dive technical things because I want to keep it at a simple level, because I know I get a lot of new hams that watch this channel who don't have a lot of experience. And I want to make sure things that I talk to them with items and terminology that they'll be able to understand and digest. So, yeah, it is a great store, Cooley. It really is. It really is. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by, taking time out of your Wednesday afternoon to listen to us. We really appreciate that here at Ham Radio Basics. And let me know also what you think of the new logos and the new logo setup. My shirt, I'm going to be getting a hat done up, and see what you guys think of that. And if so, you know, I'll get some out there. So, and may have a giveaway as well too. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, guys, remember, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7 3s, everybody.